People from Suffolk have been represented in a photography exhibition in London revealing the hidden reality of living with ME. 20-year-old Angus Rodwell from Stow Upland is going to be taking part in the project going forward. And to tell us more about it, I'm joined by his mum, Tina. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Sarah. Hello, everybody.
First of all, tell us about the exhibition.
That was in the OXO Centre in London, which is right next door to the Tate art place.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely place. And Jeremy Jeffries has spent the last 3 years going around and getting the lived experience of those with ME and then putting their lives before they come down with ME on top of, so that people can see the impact and the people behind the illness. It was really impactful.
So for people who don't know, can you tell us about ME?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, I'm afraid. Myalgic Encephalomyelitis.
That is a mouthful.
It's very hard to get your teeth around. But basically what it means is the person has an inability to produce energy on demand or sustain any form of energy. And it goes into a thing called post-exertional malaise. And they're all medical terms, aren't they? Which nobody really understands, which is why the exhibition is so important. So post-exertion, you have to have energy to do anything or exert yourself, say like read a book. So when Angus reads a book, his legs hurt. And it's nonsensical, really. And the malaise means illness, sickness, flu-like. So the symptoms are really large and it's confusing for anybody to get their head around.
And tell us a bit about Angus. When did he first kind of start getting poorly, and when did you realise it was ME?
That was when he was coming up to 8 and just after, really. He beforehand, he was my octomonkey on speed. He had arms and legs everywhere. If he could climb, he would run everywhere and just grabbed life. He was full of zeal. And he started getting these viruses, all sorts of childhood things, and having 2 children, older children. I just took it in stride, really. But there was one summer where him and his sister got like a gastro flu.
Yeah.
And they were really, really sick for the whole of the 6 weeks. It was a nightmare. And Ella Rose slowly got better and was able to go to school, and Angus never did.
Wow. Gosh. That must have been very difficult for you to deal with, as you say, from going from climbing everything, bouncing around, and then suddenly totally different.
It's a real big shock. And I think the other shock is that nobody knew. Nobody could explain to me. And as his life slowly slipped away and he became bedbound and there was nothing anybody could do, it was horrific, really, and still is. Although you acclimatise to it, you live with what you've got, don't you, really?
Yeah. And so how does it affect Angus and you and, and the rest of the family kind of day to day?
And that's a really big one. So for us, we get out of bed, we don't think anything of it. We brush our teeth, we get ready for the day, and say it's the weekend, we're looking forward to going out. Angus has to micromanage every single activity he does. And he has a visible app that shows him his pace points.
Yeah.
And they say it's all about pacing, but you can't pace because you don't know what energy you're using at that time and how your body's going to react to that energy. So for the first 2 hours in the morning, Angus has to wait for his body to enable him to get up to go to the toilet. God. And it's that micromanagement that people don't see.
Is there a cure for ME?
No, there's very little research. Recently, the government did fund Decode ME that gave 8 markers within a person's DNA that shows that they could be susceptible to ME similar to those with, say, like breast cancer, but they've stopped funding that. So we're now back to what we're going to do next, and where do we get the funding from?
It must be difficult for Angus to stay positive. He must be frustrated a lot of the time.
His outlook is that he can't live in the past because that's too painful. He can't see a future because he doesn't know what his body's going to throw at him next. So he lives in the here and now. And I must say, he's my hero. I just do not know how he copes, or how anybody within the community copes, because the carers then have to look on and see the vibrant person slowly slip, but also the dreams that you held for them going forward into their life. And with two older children that have gone to university and have got their jobs and, you know, going to concerts and living a life, that is very difficult for all of us to support Angus.
Do you think people realise how difficult it is, a condition to live with and to manage?
No, how can you? No. I think unless you've had flu for a couple of years and you understand that every time you brush your teeth you have a massive headache and feel dizzy, you can't. And I think in a way that's the self-protection as well, isn't it? We can't think about that because it's too horrendous. And that's why the exhibition is so important, because it gives a little bit of glimpse without having to push you into that hell, if you like. And that's what I'm hoping to do, is to bring awareness through things like the patient participation groups that Suffolk and North East Essex Integrated Care put out on their SNE website, and get people talking and thinking about it, and hopefully having an exhibition at the John Peel Centre in Stowmarket.
Oh, wow.
Because,
a similar exhibition to the one in London?
Yes, but with local people and researchers and the service providers, medical staff, anybody, to show them and support them in supporting us, really. And Suffolk has got a new service provider, and we're hoping that they will listen to the patients and be re-educated, if you like, about the small research papers that are around that show this illness in its all complex situation.
You mentioned the patient participation group. Just tell us a bit more about that. Has is that somewhere where you can find support?
Well, it's more about giving a voice, because when you're a patient, you live with a condition, and it doesn't matter what that condition is. You go to the doctor, they only see a snippet of your life, don't they? So with Angus's case, they see him able to walk into the doctor's surgery. They don't see the month after that activity where he suffers all the symptoms that disables his life. So being engaged with the patient participation, you're able to give a voice to somebody like Angus that's silenced by his illness. But also they're bringing on people and communities, which means that after the service is set up, the patients and their carers and the advocates are still given a voice on improving that service. And I must say, Let's Talk SNE and the Integrated Care Board in this area are very keen to then engage with researchers. So then you get a whole circle of the people that need to be talking together and building bridges and giving each other respect. Because I'm viewed as a person with lived experience as an expert, but people don't recognise that, really.
So the exhibition, you think it's been really, I mean, it's so positive. It's been so positive in making people aware. Has it been positive experience for Angus to be involved?
Yes, I think it's given him confidence. When Jeremy Jeff's actually come to our house, and he's been a couple of times, because obviously Angus has to recover from the activity, has given him a confidence and a voice. And to be honest, when I'm very nervous, I probably don't come across that way, but I am very nervous about being interviewed. But Angus played your role, Sarah, yesterday.
Did he?
And gave me pointers and things like that. And it was just brilliant, because you see that person that was.
Yeah.
He's there still, he's still got the same I want to live spirit, and I want to engage and have experiences. And that's a double-edged sword, I suppose, because I could then see the possibilities that were there before his illness.
Well, whatever he did yesterday, he did a fine job of preparing you for chatting to me, because I've learned so much about ME in the last few minutes that we've been talking, and honestly, things that I hadn't really realised at all. So, you're doing your job of spreading the word and making people more aware. And you mentioned the exhibition in Stowmarket. So, is that something that's kind of in the planning? Is that have you got a date for that, or are you looking for people to get involved in that?
No, it's been my dream for a year or more, really.
Okay.
And I'm just putting it out there. That's why I'm so grateful for coming on your show. Anybody that's listening that wants to get involved, please do get in touch with me or Jeremy Jeffs or ME Action, and see if we can get this off
the ground.
Springboard.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, it sounds like it would be a brilliant exhibition. So if anybody does want to get in touch, if you get in touch with us here at BBC Radio Suffolk, we can make sure we put you in touch with Tina. Tina, thank you so much for coming on the programme this morning. And as I say, I've learned so much in the past few minutes chatting to you about this. I'm sure Angus will be very proud of what you've done, and it's brilliant to talk to you. Thanks, Tina.
And you too. Thank you so, so much.
That's Tina Rodwell from Stow Upland. If you want to find out more about the exhibition revealing the hidden reality of living with ME and about ME itself, you can go to the meassociation.org.uk. And as Tina said, if you've got a story there, if you live with ME, or if someone you live with or care for, or, a member of the family does, and you want to get in touch with Tina to make this exhibition in Stowmarket happen, just give us a call, 0800 141 2121. We'll make sure we put you in touch.